What is up, guys? Tonight, welcome to the Red Hot Racing League here tonight. Race 3 here at Richmond. Third race of the season after our first two at Daytona and Chicagoland. I am Eric Just Cause. I'm going to be joined by K. Hark fan, who just accidentally stubbed his toe at the end of the table here in our announce table desk here.
With the
Um,
table.
but we're here tonight, Richmond, after this exciting race weekend that we've had. We had the Trucks and Xfinity go to Iowa. If you did not tune into that, it's gonna be on YouTube. So I would tune into the YouTube channel for Red Hot Racing League. It's gonna be pretty fun. Um, I raced those races personally, but we're gonna be here at Richmond, which is I would say the smaller version of Iowa, but uh it should be fun tonight. Short track racing. We might see some bumping and banging. We might see some carnage here just a little bit. So I am joined by K. Harvick fan here. K. Harvick fan, what is your expectations for the race here at Richmond tonight?
Well, I think if you look throughout the entire weekend, obviously Iowa and Richmond, they're two different tracks, but if you look at them, they do share some similarities, but they're not exact. But I think you can take a few things out of what we've seen through the weekend, and that includes, the style of racing you'll see and things like that. These Cup guys have more experience doing this, most of them, than some of these lower series guys. Okay. And actually, Alex, uh, basically, to shorten up what I was going to say, because it's a little bit of a ramble, I think we'll see probably pretty single file racing on the bottom, but I think if guys can get that middle to work a little bit, and it can work here, you can see some two double file racing. Definitely the bump and run is going to be key, and turn two is going to be treacherous. But before I ramble too much, let's get over to our lineup and your second place starter, actually, not to spoil anything, but Tim, or Ward Burton, will be giving us that as usual. So, Tim, take it away.
Well, thank you, Kevin, as we get ready for the Red Hot Racing League Cup Series to take on Richmond. It'll be a fun 200 laps, and yet again, starting on the pole, a familiar face in these short track scenarios. It'll be Asylums. As you mentioned, Kevin, I'll be starting in second, trying to go back-to-back after winning a tiebreaker over Stout Whiskey at Chicagoland last week. Turbocharger, one guy who's not necessarily strong at short tracks, but tends to bring a lot of speed. He'll be starting that third position. Super NASCAR fan, this is one of his stronger short tracks. He'll start right outside in position 4. Last week's debut rookie who led a couple laps, Floyd BM 2013, he'll start in P5. It's Scrotum will start in P number 6. Drew LMAO will start off position 7. Rybread will start in position 8. T-Glass 19 will start in the 9th position. Honorary Hades will start in 10th. Bit Skydiver 11th. Trippy Tricks 12th. OK Sideways 13th. Toasted Gamers, our Daytona winner of the Red Hot 250, he'll start in 14th. Brodozer will be 15th, Stout Whiskey 16th, Josh 934 will start 17th, 7th Monkey with another hot seat will start 18th, Mr. Slide Job making his debut, he'll start 19th, Captain will roll off P20, and rounding out the field will be Gavin in 21st. However, to note, I believe no Stout and no Trippy tonight, so there will be 19 in the field.
Wow, interesting. 19 cars in the field tonight. It's going to be pretty interesting to see some bumping and banging action throughout these 19 cars tonight. I know throughout the weekend we've had a bunch of different races going on. Of course, the truck race was at Iowa and the Xfinity race was at Iowa. Of course, truck race. Of course, Mr. Track Bar himself came out with the W there in that truck race. I personally got a pretty good run. I think I don't remember where I finished. I finished 11th, P11, right behind Fabico. So, and then the Xfinity race yesterday, which I think was won by Asylums. Of course, I didn't have a good run, but I did finish out to be P14 on the board. But it should be a very interesting entertainment tonight for our Cup Series here at Richmond. So, Harvick, you were going to go into a ramble about what you expect tonight, but are you going to expect, because at Iowa in the Xfinity Series, we had some fuel strategy go on in those stages. Do you think Do you think there'll be any fuel strategy here?
I definitely think there could be. I don't exactly know what the stage lengths are. I can tell you though, stage 2 they're gonna have to put. Actually, if I remember correctly from other races I've called here, stage 1 is a small fuel save stage, whereas stage 2 you're going to have to take a pit stop at some point in there. This is a little bit of a weird race in the way that it's proportioned with the stages, because stage 2 is actually much longer than stage 1. So you'll probably see some saving in stage 1, as I believe they're somewhere around 3 laps short, roughly, if I remember. Again, I'm trying to use memory. Oh, that's right. So that's the other thing too. I'm still getting used to this, as we've done for the rest of the weekend, Alex. So yeah, they're about 3 laps short by default. However, the one thing that will assist these guys a little bit is to set the lineup and line everybody up where they qualified. We will be running 2 pace laps to kick this thing off, so that'll help the fuel saving a little bit. They will still have to save some. I'd say probably about 1.5 laps of fuel, just to be safe under the green.
Yeah, just to be safe here. I know I had some time having the fuel save yesterday, but for me it was also a tire save, as we know how hard it is, the surface there at Iowa. So, you know, it's going to be pretty interesting tonight. I don't know if these guys are going to have some tire issues. I know Richmond's a very good racetrack. If you just wear the right front, you get tight. If you wear the right rear, you're going to get loose. So, you know, it's going to be pretty interesting tonight. Let's look at the field. They're lining up here. They're getting everything sorted out in their starting positions. It looks like the 2 of Captain already out by lap number 1 here. Big DNF here for the 2 car, having some strong.
As the lag out pole.
So due to the DNF of the 2 car, we are going to restart the race here. We're going to technically restart because of the lag out rule. So
yes, and actually let's go over that, because this is a fairly new implementation. This came in very recently after a couple incidents over the weekend. So starting, actually, I believe this was implemented overnight after last night's race. What basically happens, since we run pace laps at the start of the race, if a driver lags out, I believe, and Tim, I know they can't hear you, but correct me if I'm wrong. If a driver lags out during that pace lap, those pace laps, we get 1 attempt at a back out and restart out of fairness to that driver, since the race has not technically gone green yet. This will be our 1 attempt. After that, if anybody has that occurrence, it's just unfortunate. We will continue to race, but we do get 1 back out attempt, and this will be that attempt for us right now.
That would be
okay.
Okay, well, we're going to be doing our 1 back out attempt here. Now we're going to go ahead in this
Kevin, that was not meant for you.
Short intermission. We're going to ask Kevin, who do you think is going to be very strong today here at Richmond throughout all this whole field?
Well, this is one thing where I think you can take some notes from Iowa over the weekend. We saw the truck race, we saw the Xfinity race, and there's guys in this field that raced either one or even both of those. Guys I look at, Asylums, he picked up an Xfinity win last night. He's still looking for his first Cup win this season. He's got a truck win, he's got an Xfinity win. He needs to now, or he would like to, complete that and have a win in all 3 series. He's definitely one I look at. He's very good here. He's on the pole also. Second place starting as well, Ward Burton. He read off the lineup for us. He's going to be one to watch here as well. He's pretty good at this racetrack, good on the short tracks. And he's trying to go back-to-back too, riding off a little bit of momentum after the literal tie we had at Chicago last week. I hope we get more of that tonight. That was fun to watch. I wasn't here, obviously, but I saw the results of it, and it was fun. He's going to be one to watch too. He's got some momentum, and he's good at this racetrack. Another one that I think I would have to watch out for as well. It's going to be. I don't know if Stout is here, and Doc. Actually, Doc is here. Okay, Stout. Okay, so Stout made it. I'm going to tell you right now. Stout Whiskey, he's going to be one to watch here as well. He always excels on these short tracks. This is a short track. This falls into that category. He's going to be quick. Super NASCAR fan. I don't know if I already said him or not. He could be one to pay attention to. And I don't know. There's so many guys. Toasted Gamers, I think, maybe could sneak up in there. Drew LMAO could sneak his way up in there. There's quite a few guys here. But I think your three favorites probably. And actually, if Doc is here, I don't know if Doc is here as well. But if Doc is here, he, at least on speed, will also be one to watch as well. He's really good at these short tracks. Ran third last night at Iowa, was leading up until probably 4 or 5 laps to go in that race. And the car fell off for him, and he fell back to about 3rd place. But had a really, really solid run last night, and he will carry that over here. So if he's actually attending, I believe he is. So take all those things into effect. We have a lot of favorites here. Okay. Yep.
I got it.
Yep. All right. So as we okay, there we go. As we load back, or as we get ready to head back into the race here, trying to get things situated, we have a lot of favorites here, Alex. There's a lot of short trackers in this field, and again, too, we talk about short tracks. One prone or mistake-prone short track this is turn 2 is one of the most treacherous corners in this game. It's very easy to be deceived by it. You can get back on the throttle, or at least you think you can, and you get on it too early, and suddenly that outside wall that seemed so far away is inside your door. So just one thing that can be, mistake prone is just that corner there, and that creates so much action and so many moments throughout this. It's going to be fun to watch. With all the favorites in this field, I don't know what to expect.
I don't know what to expect either. As here we go. We are. I think we're going to do another pace lap here to set the field. Hopefully nobody DNFs under the pace laps here today. Everybody's getting back into their spots here. Of course, 6 of Asylum starting on pole. Outside it's going to be the 8 of Word Burton there. Looks like Super NASCAR fans getting into his 4th position. A lot of drivers in this field tonight. There's 38 of Gavin, who commentated the Xfinity and truck race this weekend. He's going to be sitting up here right in probably about the back. He's hoping that he can get a good run here today. Probably creep his way, get some stage points. 24 Toasted Gamers here in the 24. You got to be careful here under these pace laps because you don't want to give yourself or the guy in front of you damage. It happened to me during the truck race. I got ran into the back of by the 45 in the truck race. Gave me rear end damage, and I think it gave him front end damage. So it's going to be very careful here. You don't want to hit the car in front of you. Definitely don't want to check up the car behind you. Me, I just got absolutely ran into, so it's going to be pretty interesting under these pace laps. Hopefully nobody got damaged, but we should be starting here shortly.
Indeed, they're trying to finish lining everybody up. We're about to go green here. They go in the restart zone. I believe we're going now, actually.
Yeah, green flag here at Richmond for the Red Hot Racing League. Race number 3 as we go into turn number 1. 6 of Asylum has got a good hold on to the bottom. 1 of Turbo side by side with Word here. That's the battle for P2. Word's got the momentum, and he's going to go to P2. It's super. Oh, the 1 gets loose.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. Whoa!
17, 34, 38. That's going to bring up the caution lap 1.
Already a rough start. Turbo got really loose. We talked about it. Guess what that was? Turn number 2. The other thing that comes with that corner, you can get really tight there and smack the wall. You can also, with the lack of banking that the corner itself has, but especially that back straightaway, I've been to this track many times. I've been on the surface, walked on it. That back straightaway is basically completely flat. It almost, you barely notice any banking on it. So very flat, and what that leads to is you don't have any banking to lean on to save the car when you get sideways. Typically, you can get sideways, coming off of 2 as the car, the back end tries to snap around on you, and it's hard to save. And as you can see, Turbo gets caught out by it, as well as a few others that were close by. And unfortunately, tough break for those guys, but it's early. They have time to rebound.
They're going to have time to rebound. Looks like the 4 of Crotum stayed out, as well as the 53 Mr. Slide Job. Here we go. Green flag back in the air here at Richmond. It's the 4-car on that inside, 53 on that outside. 4-car trying to hold that bottom, but here comes the 6 of Asylums. He's going to go to the inside of the 53. Try to take that second spot away. Down the back straightaway they go. Little contact right there, as you can see from the 6 and the 53. Through 3 and 4. The 4-car is going to lead this lap here. It's Crotum. But here comes Asylums. Is he going to clear the 53? Yes, he will. 6-car to P2 here at Richmond.
You see that speed out of the 6. I expect to see more of that. By the way, how about Slide Job right there? He's making his Cup Series debut. He's done very well in the Truck Series so far this season. Was leading the points. I think he ended up losing the points lead after Iowa, but still definitely sitting top 5 in the points. Top 3 more than likely as well, if you factor that in. So making his Cup Series debut, and he's showing what he's got early. Obviously stayed out under that caution. Speaking of which, I talked about how there was a little bit of fuel saving to go on in this stage. That has been eliminated for everyone, whether you pit it or not, because the way this game works, if you run a pace lap or if you run caution laps, the game does not take that fuel away from you usually. They were only about 3 laps short. Everybody should be good to go on fuel. Those that pitted definitely won't have a concern. If you didn't pit, you might be right on the money, but you should be okay.
Yes, down this front straightaway, the 6 and the 4 currently got a little bit of a breakaway from the rest of the field. It's the 4 Crotum out front. He's going to get a little bit loose off turn number 2. 6 of Asylums looking to the inside. 6 hits the Asylums on the apron. 6 on the apron, almost took the Richmond road course right there down pit road. As the 4 Crotum up there, P1 trying to hold off the rest of this pack in the field. Here comes the 8 of Wardburn, not Wardburn. He wish he was Wardburn, that's Caterpillar number 8. But currently he's 6 of Asylums underneath the 4 of Crotum. Battle for the lead. Crotum's going to maybe not lead that lap. I think it was the 6 of Asylums through 1 and 2. He's going to fight on that outside. Can he get the run on the outside? Oh, he's going to get a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. I think Asylums is going to clear him here, and yes, he will. Oh, the 0-0 sends it into the 8 of Wardburn. That's the 0-0 of T-Glass there. He's going to make contact with the 4 of Crotum, and Crotum's going to fall back, but new leader here at Richmond, the 6 of Asylums.
A little bit of argy-bargy going on. You see guys like T-Glass having a little bit of handling troubles there. Huge save by him, but obviously some door banging took place. Don't necessarily think that was anyone's fault. It's kind of hard to control that when you're sliding. So no fault of T-Glass there. That happens, but you can also do that here a little bit. It is a short track. You can rub up a little bit.
Oh, we got a car slow. Oh, we got a car slow on the back straightaway.
Oh, and that's going to be a caution.
I saw a whole bunch of cars scramble. Caution. I saw a white car in the wall on the back straightaway, and I just saw a whole bunch of cars stack up. It's going to bring out the caution, but very interesting. Opening to the race here is we got Wardburn, not Wardburn. I'm sorry, when I see a Burden and Caterpillar on a car, like when you see Caterpillar and you see the driver Burden, I instantly think Wardburn. Yeah, you
I didn't even realize that.
You know?
That's funny.
You know what? That could be his nickname, Ward Burden. I don't have to say Wardburn. I can just say Wardburn from now on. Probably be a better way. But caution is out here. It looks like Brodozer's got some front end damage, so he might have been the car involved in that. As here we go. Coming to the restart zone, the 6 of Asylums on the inside, 8 of Wardburn on the outside. Here we go. Green flag. Back in the air here. As the 34, we're getting word, took 2. 20 laps remaining here in stage number 1. 8 car trying to work that outside. Is he going to get that run? Yes, he will. Down the back straightaway, side by side with the 6 of Asylums. Through 3 and 4. Can the 6 clear? Yes, he can. 6 of Asylums. P1 right now by 34. I heard that 34. I think that's Josh in the 34. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he made the race or not. I'm going to have to, yeah, Josh in the 34 took 2 tires, actually, and look how much positions he's fallen back.
Yeah, we did get a little bit of a run in there that time on the tires, so yeah, if you take 2 tires here, your left side's gonna suffer a little bit, and I tell you what, sometimes depending on how much wear it is, you can handle it. But I tell you what, sometimes on places like here, Iowa, and a couple others, you take 2 tires, it will throw the balance and the handling of your car way off. Maybe the 34 of Josh trying to fight that a little bit, I don't know. Or it could just be the fact of he has lower left side tires and that's just making him slower. Either way, good strategy call though, trying to get some track position. He was one of the guys involved in that first wreck when the one car went around off of 2. So trying to recover from that and has done a good job. But the 2 cars I'm watching on right now, or want to keep an eye on, would be the 6 and the 8. I tell you what, I don't think these 2 are going to be able to get away from each other. I expect these 2 to be racing one another a lot today. And the other car, and I just heard an update on him in the party. Thank you, Tim, because I was about to head there next to the other guy. I wanted to keep an eye on his progress. I talked about him pre-race with Stout Whiskey. He also won last week. At least we'll say that. He finished second, but he was dead even with your leader. I mean, literally dead even. Or your winner. And tell you what, man, Stout's strong here, and caution's back out. But Stout has found his way to the 4th position, and now this restart will probably give him a chance at the lead.
Yeah, caution is out here for the 3rd or 4th time today. Here in stage number 1. 3rd time today. Yeah, like you said, watch out for Stout Whiskey, because it looks like the whiskey is very stout today in that 32 car. Pretty good start to this race. A lot of battling. Looks like, of course, the 2 strongest cars here is the 8 and the 6 right now. Of course, that's 6 of Asylum's. Looking pretty good. We can't really stop him. He's so good at these short tracks. I know personally, firsthand. I've raced with him here at Richmond and Bristol. I know how good he is, and he's going to be up that front most of the day unless something happens. But here we go. Hits the restart box. Green flag. Back in the air here. Stage number 1 at Richmond. The 6 of Asylum's great launch there. 8 car did not get that good of a launch. Through 1 and 2 here. The 6 car going to clear the 8, but here comes the 00 T-Glass. T-Glass to the inside of Wordburton. 3 and 4. 00 T-Glass trying to get that bite on the bottom, but the 8's going to get the run on the high side. As the 6 car is going to cross the line, these 2 are going to battle for P2. T-Glass, Burton, who's going to get the edge here. Here comes the 84. The 84 of Floyd. Floyd, I'm just going to call him Floyd. Floyd here in the 84, currently battling for the 4th place position, it looks like, with Stout Whiskey here. As Whiskey's going to clear him. 84 almost giving him the bumper. A lot of bumpers being given here with this stack up, but the 8's going to finally clear the 00 for 2nd spot. And the 84 getting another bumper to the 32 here as laps are winding down here in stage number 1, Arvik.
Indeed, and I tell you what, man, these guys battling has a lot of silence to... he doesn't have a huge lead, but he has a comfortable lead, and obviously he's happy about that, but these guys are going to try to chase him back down now. Stout running back here as well. He's kind of just biding his time, doesn't want to get himself into too much trouble. And how about the 84 of Floyd there? Fairly new to custom setup racing, at least from what I'm aware of. New to the Cup Series, only been here for 1 week. He raced Chicago last week. Rock actually, and this is why we love Rock. Rock actually referred him this way, and he's doing a great job. So, Rock, first of all, we thank you for that. And second, your boy is doing a really good job out here in only his 2nd Cup race. So, running inside the top 5, right on the bumper of one of the best in this game, Stout Whiskey. One of the best of these short tracks especially, and he's hanging right up here with him. So, shout out to that 84, man.
Yeah, shout out to the 84 of Floyd MB. He's currently sitting there in that top 5, but Asylum's up front. How many do we have to go? 5 laps remaining here, and stage number 1 is the 6 of Asylum's up front. He's got a good lead over the 8 of Wordburton. Wordburton's got some pressure from T-Glass. Car in the wall. Don't know where. But we're hearing car in the wall, but Asylum's in the 6.
T-Glass, I believe, which was a lag.
So. It was lag.
Didn't
so
actually
a
hit
little
the
bit lag from T-Glass. as the 6 of Asylum's coming around 3 laps remaining here in stage number 1 in the, what we call the Glizzy car. Of course, Hot
He was
Dog.
our wiener last night.
Wiener last night. Harvick, really? You had to do that?
Hey, Gavin's the one that did it first, not me. I just carried on what Gavin started.
Okay, okay, of course, blame Gavin. Gavin, I thought was the innocent one. 2 to go here. Asylums, I think he's won a stage before, I think at Daytona.
Yes, he has Daytona.
He did actually win stage 1 at Daytona.
Stage 2.
Oh, 2.
Stage 2 at Daytona.
Or stage 1, sorry. Stage
I was right. Darn it,
Stage
Tim.
1.
Darn it, Tim.
Stage 1 at Daytona is we're on the white flag, I think, here.
Yes, sir.
In stage number 1. The Glizzy machine of a 6 of Asylums. He's going to come through turns 3 and 4. He's going to go ahead, win stage number 1
I'm not trying
here at Richmond. Second place looks like it's going to go to the 32 of Stout Whiskey. Third place, I think, is going to the 8 of Wordburn.
Tell you what, man, it was a really good stage. We had a lot of battling, but I think right now, as I look at it, and obviously I know T. Glass and Tim kind of got caught in a battle there, and it kind of allowed Asylums to pull away, but right now I think it would appear Asylums has the best car. Obviously, these guys have got a chance to head down pit road and try to adjust on these things to see just what they can do to fix them, make them faster, but right now I think the 6 car has to be a favorite, but keep an eye on this 32 of Stout Whiskey also, because I'm telling you, he's been very slow and methodical about this. I think he will definitely have something to say before this is all over. Headed into a longer stage as well, so we'll keep an eye on this too. That should contain a green flag pit stop if we can get that far.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to be lining them up here on the inside. It's the 6 of Asylums. On the outside, 32 of Stout Whiskey. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Stage number 2 is underway. 6 of Asylums. Didn't really get that good of a start. The 32 Stout Whiskey kind of had the advantage there on the outside, but the 6 of Asylums on that inside. Can he pass the 32? Can he clear? No, he cannot. Down the back straightaway. Through 3 and 4. I think he's going to clear this time. The Asylums is clear. 6 of the Asylums is going to keep his lead here at Richmond here. Stage number 2 here. It's Harvick. I see a couple new guys up here. We haven't seen this top 5. Got Drew LMAO battling for that 3rd place spot over Wordburn right now. And it also got Toasted battling with T-Glass there for that 5th position right now.
Indeed, I talked about those are 2 more guys I mentioned pre-race. Drew got 2nd place at Iowa in the truck race, only the track bar on Friday night. Then, unfortunately, last night didn't really get a chance as he lagged out, blew an engine, quote unquote, very early in that race. Did not ever get a chance to show what kind of speed he had. But tonight, made his way up here slowly and methodically, kind of like a lot of these guys. He's doing a good job now, trying to getting the 3rd position there. And Toasted as well, another guy that's really strong in these short tracks. He finished 2nd in last night's Xfinity race at Iowa. He's, again, trying to make his way up here. He started from the 14th position tonight and has currently moved up pretty well through the field inside the top 5 now.
We're hearing 75 laps total in this stage. We're hearing it's a 1-stopper here. So they will have to make 1 pit stop throughout this stage here. Let's go look at some guys we're not really talking about. People that are kind of riding in the back right now. You know, just because they're riding in the back doesn't mean they don't deserve a shout out here. The 51 to 7th Monkey. He's as far as I know, I think he's on a hot seat. We've been told.
Yes.
He's on a hot seat, running probably around the 47 right now. Probably around outside the top 10 in that top 15 area right now. He's going to be doing pretty good. As we're hearing a battle for the lead here. Here comes Stout Whiskey on the bottom, going to the inside of the 6. Oh, they make contact. What a save. If that was anybody else, they would be going to the inside wall about as quickly as people crashing at Talladega. So, right now, this 32, he's looking like he's battling the 6 car. Looks like he's finding a little bit of a tight condition right now. As you can see him, he went from that bottom, kind of slid up to that middle lane right there. Looks like he's got a little bit of a tight condition going on in that 6 car. As here comes the 32, he's going to look to the inside. He's there at the rear wheel. Can he get that run off this corner here? That's what I want to see here. Can he get the run? Oh, 6 car got that run off corner exit, but I think the 32 might get him here through 3 and 4. Through 3 and 4, can he get him? He's putting the power down. And he's gonna get him. New leader here, Richmond, Stout Whiskey.
Indeed, Stout. He's riding with some vengeance this weekend. He, again, I can't stress this enough, tied with your winner last week. Came second by literally nothing other than the game. So he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Very well could have won last weekend. He wants to win tonight under the lights of Richmond Raceway. He's just taken the lead from the guy that's dominated so far. We'll see if he can pull away or if Asylum will be able to get back to him and take this back. This is going to be a fun battle to watch throughout this entire race. But Stout currently out front. I'm not surprised. He started all the way back in 15th and has slowly made his way up here, and now, just shortly into Stage 2, finds himself out front.
Yeah, up front, that 32, looking very stout right now, up front. It looks like he's going to be up front for a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see these pit stops here coming up. I don't think they're coming up soon, but they are coming up. So we're going to look
about 25 laps.
About 25 laps we're hearing. That 6 car, I think, is struggling with a tight condition right now. The way I'm seeing him, he's going to the bottom and sliding up at least quite a bit here. It looks like he's very tight here, Harvick. Is the 6 car built for that long run, do you think? Or is this, he may have tightened that car just a little bit too much?
Well, I can tell you here from a pre-race, he definitely has that thing a little bit tight on the short runs, but this is a track where you do want to be set up for the long run. This place, when you lose tire grip, it comes from the rears, and it is a handful to hold on to the car. And again, we talk about turn 2. Turn 2 gets really treacherous on worn out tires. It gets so hard to hang on to the car. You have to be so gentle with everything you're doing. You're braking through the corner because that'll help you. And then when you get back on the throttle and how much wheel you put into it, all those sorts of things, it's so important here. So if you have a loose race car to start off with, that condition is only going to intensify as the run goes on. Having a tight car early could be a lifesaver for you later in this run. And as we've seen, we had a few cautions in Stage 1, but in general, this track favors long runs. So definitely a really good call by the 6. We'll see what the 32 has on the long run, but right now, yeah, Asylum's struggling with a tight condition, but I think that's by design.
By design, indeed. Here, so we're gonna go look around the field here. Let's look at this 53. We're praising him earlier. Mr. Slide Job here in the 53. He's been very good in the Truck Series. Personally, I've raced with him. He's been racing good. He's currently battling that 17 right now, a bit skydiver. He's also with the 47. I think a little lag right there. Put that 47 back a little bit. But he's currently running pretty good. He's around Super NASCAR fan. I don't know for what position. I just wish for a ticker here in this game. That would be pretty fun. But this 53 running pretty good the rear of the field. Gavin, of course, in that 38. He always wants his TV time. I can tell he's in the top 10 around there because I can see the leaders. It's the 6 car going very high right there. Maybe that long run car is not kicked in yet.
Loose and
Oh. Here was the 38 here, but he's running pretty good. I know he's always asked if he had his TV time. Well, here you go, Gavin. You got your TV time. If you're watching this later on, you got your TV time. 24 Toasted currently battling with 8 of Word for that second spot right now. 24 Toasted, Daytona winner this season, battling with the Chicagoland winner. We got the only 2 winners to win this season. And currently there are 2 and 3, not 1, 2, 3. If Stout wins, it would be a 1, 2, 3. But right now, 24. Now the P2 is, let's go, Rye Bread, making sure things are not moldy tonight on that 47 Hungry Jack's car, making me hungry with those stack of pancakes on that air bumper. He's currently battling with Slide Job and Super right now here at Richmond. They're quite a bit away from Gavin. I think they're battling for that top 10 spot, somewhere around there, but this could be the interesting battle for the stage end here, as well as he's going to make a move to the inside of Super after a little checkup. So, Harvick, who do you want to quickly shout out in this race so far?
I don't know, man. I tell you what, I mean, obviously Stout, he worked his way from 15th. I know it's kind of a cliche, but he worked his way from 15th and now finds himself with a very comfortable lead. Since you last looked at it, that lead has only grown. He has lengthened out that lead. Obviously, the handling problems for Asylums seem to be getting the better of him at the moment. We'll see if his car can come back around to him or not, but I see him struggling with the handling of that car a little bit more than maybe in the earlier stage of this race. So, Stout, I think I also got to give one too, though, to again that '84 car of Floyd. Only his second race in this series, and he's racing some of the best in this game. And I'm pretty sure he's fairly new to custom setups. He was a recommendation by Rock NASCAR, who does so much for this community, and he's been doing very, very well tonight. Also, Gavin. I know Gavin was a little bit worried about this race, how he would do here, but he's pretty good at short tracks. I don't think he gives himself enough credit at these places. He's pretty good, and I agree. It looks like he's probably around that 10th, 11th position, which is a really solid run. Gavin's still trying to kind of learn setups a little bit. He's come a long way, but definitely I think he would even agree he's still got a little bit of ground to cover. And learning that, but he's having a really good run here tonight, and that's kind of my shout-outs for the moment.
Yes, there's your shout-outs. What your shout-outs? Floyd MB got loose there off of turn number 2, saved it, but lost a lot of ground there on the double zero T-glass. Now he's in the wall here as Gavin's looking to battle him. Let's go look back as the 24 has kind of lost his second place position. Now he's back to 5th place. 24 Toasted Gamers. He lost his position to Asylum's Word and Drew Ameo. Let's go look at the leader right now.
Which, by the way, is catching the tail of the field if you look just ahead.
Let's see for the small speckle of car. See if actually that's the bigger speckle of car than what I thought it was. But at 32 is Stout. He's catching that lap traffic up ahead. I think the first lap car is the one of Turbo. Right there, I think a car's already a lap down.
1.3 second.
Got a 1.3 second lead over the 8 of Word Burden. 32 is Stout Whiskey though. Pretty interesting season for him. 3rd place at Daytona. Coming down to the wire between him, Toasted, and of course Captain there, and then of course the tie at Chicagoland, which was given to Word because of the spot of the game. But Stout, pretty good start to the season. He looks like he could possibly be the winner of this stage if he just stays consistent. Remember, there will be a pit stop in this stage, which is going to make things a lot of interesting here with the pit road entry. I think it's the quietest same as Iowa.
Yes.
You got to signal on the back straightaway and take the apron from 3 to the pit lane exit or entry. And then it's the apron off 1 and 2 to the back straightaway. You gotta take as he's catching the one of Turbo. I don't think he's the first car to be a lap down. I think I saw a car in the grass earlier. I think it was the 88 of Brodozer who's already a lap down. But the one car is looking like to be 1 lap down. Here is, will he step aside for that 32? 32, yep, he will. He's going to go to the high side and let our leader by. Good move there by the lap car. You do not want to mess up the leader there. As when he catches the next lap car, we're going to see here. Next lap car, I think, is going to be the 88 of Brodozer, and he's about a straightaway behind or ahead of Stout. So
8 car up in the wall, second place running. Oh, sorry, Stout got in the wall. My bad, I heard that very wrong. Sorry, I'm watching Stout too, I didn't even see it. Stout tagged the wall a little bit there.
What a save by OK Sideways.
He was not okay there, I promise.
Yeah, it was not okay. His car was not feeling okay.
And
but
pit road looked very busy, I believe.
Yeah, I think I saw the 51 on pit road as I was scrolling through trying to get to the leader. But yeah, good battle here for P2 going on. It's a little bit bunched here for P2. You can see you kind of got Drew right behind him, and then you got Asylums behind Drew. See if this 8 of Word can catch the 32 of Stout here for the lead. I think they should definitely be pitting soon because I saw the 51 on. The 88's on pit road right now. You can see right there. That's a nice camera view of all the cars diving into turn number 1. There's the 2 leader. 32 of Stout Whiskey has came in. You are hearing the leader has came in. Here, the 32 of Stout Whiskey and the 24 of Toasted's also in with him, as well as the 4 Crotum. So a little bit of the top 10 coming in here. 32, the 1 the pit here, short pit here, versus the long haul. Of course, we talked about this. You are the guy that loves that long haul. It's the 1 car kind of messed up his pit entry. 00 slow. I think the 00 also wrecked trying to get on pit road as well. So the 1 and the 00 having issues trying to get on pit road. Looks like that 00 is going to lose a lot of time, as well as to describe to us how hard is it to get on pit road here at Richmond, Harvick. You've of course been here before.
Indeed, yeah. The pits here, it's very shallow. The banking there, you have to run the apron. That apron's pretty tight quarters down there, and you gotta try to maintain as much speed as you can on that. You know, to just try to gain time or at least minimize the amount you lose. Not to mention, too, again, it's completely flat down there, and you're on worn-out tires. All in all, that's a handful to take care of, and you gotta not speed either. Pit speed here is about 40 mile an hour, I believe. So, you know, take all into account, as I believe our current leader, this should change, is Word. He is in the pits now.
I also saw the 6 of Solomons come down a couple laps earlier, I think. But problems for the 1 and the 00, as that's going to kind of make their days a little bit harder as the 17's coming out. The 88 is still on pit road, so I think he is DNF'd out of the race. As well as the 51, they are still on pit road. But you know what? This 88 does give a good camera angle of cars diving their way into turn 1 here, Harvick.
Indeed, I'm still watching Word. I'll be interested to see how this cycles out. So, again, Word was in second. Stout was your leader before pit stop started. Word now out of the pits. Stout took the short pit strategy as, Word extended it a little bit. Not uncommon for Word to do. I've seen him do that many times. We'll have to see who gets the better here. I think Stout would probably gain the time on tires in the short run. But how much of that time can Word gain back on the fact that now he's going to have somewhat fresher tires than the 32 of Stout Whiskey?
Yeah, let's look. Stout is in 3 and 4, about to cross the line. Word is coming out of turn 4. Stout's entering turn 1. So that's about a straightaway almost. Give or take 10. Give or take 10.
I would say very small amount gained by the 32 off of that, but we'll see again. Word now has fresher tires than the 32, so can he gain that back? It's not as significant of a difference in tire wear as maybe Stout had while he was out there on fresher tires compared to Word being out there on the worn tires, but it is still a difference, and it could come back to pay dividends later.
Yeah, there's also another problem for Stout here. He's coming up on these 2 lap cars of Captain and Bit, who got a little bit fresher tires than him, but are also battling for position here. It's not what you really want to see, as Bit's kind of pulled away from Captain. But the 2 car, more lap traffic coming as the 32 keeps going deeper and deeper into the field here, trying to lap race cars. Here we go.
Pretty large pack.
Yeah, pretty large pack, but the 2 is going to let by the 32, so the 32 is going to lap the 2 here. The 17-bit Skydiver would be the next car to be lapped here. He would have to catch him. The 17's on a little bit fresher tires, but I think it should catch up to him about 10 laps in. Back here, though, looks like the 34 and the 00 are battling. I think the 00 lost a bunch of time, especially trying to get on pit road. as the 8 of Ward Burton currently trying to slice through the field. He looks like he's gained a little bit of time. Gained about half the time that we were describing. Yeah, 2 seconds now. He does have a little bit of a problem ahead of him. It looks like Hades is not really going to let him by, but now Word's going to get to the inside of Hades. And it looks like Word's going to clear. No, the 48 is going to battle him here. But Word's going to clear here, and now he's going to come up on the 2 of Captain.
Indeed, I see Captain going to let him through. Good courteous driving. That's the difference, too. You see Hades, one of the guys, and I'm not surprised by this. Hades is usually someone that, he likes to race everyone for the most part. You see, he raced the 8 there, whereas the 2 just kind of did the courteous thing and got up out of the way, let him by, and didn't interfere with his race too much. So you see that, and you get that, anywhere with any driver, and it's okay either way as long as you don't get too aggressive. Obviously, they would like it if you let them by being the leaders and you being lapped, but you're not obligated to do so unless you're just, to be blunt about it, unless you're just way off the pace, then you're just holding them up a ton. But if you're, if you have speed, if you have some pace with them, you can race them, not a huge deal, but most of these guys take it very kindly and have respect for those that do let them around and let them continue on to their race. But as you see, Alex, it's gotten very spread up towards the front here, especially after the pit stops.
Yeah, it very has. It's a little bit spread out. Not very many packs, really. So I'm looking. We might have a couple, individual battles going on, like right here with the 47 and 53. Right here, a couple individual battles. But I don't see, a big pack of cars. This might be the biggest pack of the field right now, the 24, the 2, and the 18. 18, oh my god, getting loose again. Underneath the 2. Oh, that 18's very loose. This has got 20 laps remaining here in stage number 2. Here's the 13, here's on board with the 13, a super NASCAR fan. And this 13 currently running around here, Richmond, trying to chase down that 38 of Gavin.
So I'm back.
See how he runs.
I'm back on your leader as well, and he's got a few more lap cars he's catching. As he continues to go through this field, I think he'll start to catch more competitive lap cars. That might give him a little bit more of a fight, but also maybe some more lap cars that are closely racing one another, and that could pose an issue for him. Obviously, he's got a really comfortable lead right now over the 8 of Ward Burton, who currently sits back in the 2nd position. But if he gets out of these lap cars and they do continue to race each other and he can't get around them so easily, that lead can very quickly diminish, and we'll have to keep an eye on this. I believe there's 2 or 3 cars up in front of Stout right now that are really close to one another. So.
Yeah, as we're seeing here, like I said, there's a battle between Mr. Slide Job and the 47 of Rye Bread. Rye Bread's trying to make sure the... Oh, sorry. We have this battle between lap cars here with the 47 of Rye Bread, making sure the Rye Bread has not gone moldy yet. We are hoping that the Rye Bread has not gone moldy. But Mr. Slide Jobs, they're side by side. Ooh!
Stout.
Oh, I thought Stout was going to get wrecked right there. That 53 almost put the 47 right in the wall. I thought they were going to bounce off. But a bonsai move by Stout. I told y'all the whiskey is looking very stout tonight to drink. Right now, he is definitely drinking from first place right now. Up there in that 32. Let's go to second place. We're going to run through the top 5 real quick. The 8 of Ward Burton. Ward Burton, I confused him with Ward Burton early in the race, but how can you not confuse this man with Ward Burton? When you, like I said, when you see Caterpillar and as the sponsor, and you see Burton as the driver, you instantly think Ward Burton. It's a coincidence in itself. I don't think. I think Ward chose his own car. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he chose his own car. I don't think when he put it in mind, I don't think he thought that. But
Yes,
as he's telling me he thought he did. That's a little bull jive. But The 8 of Ward Burden, currently P3. Not P3, P2. P3, I think, is the 6 of Asylums. Correct. I'm getting told correct. In the Glizzy Mobile, in that number 6 Oscar Mayer Wiener car right there. The 6 of Asylum's P3 right now. The car, I think he's got the car better, early on this run. He kind of was getting a little tight. I think he may have made better adjustments to that car. And now it's running pretty good. It's P3 right now. P4, Drew LMAO in that 5. Chevy Goods. Right now, that Chevy is running pretty good. As Drew LMAO P4. One of your picks tonight to not be surprised to run well, but currently in that top 5. And then 5th place, I think, is the 24 of Toasted Gamers.
Yes.
Yes, I'm getting told yes. So Toasted Gamers in that 24. Winner at Daytona. By the winner, Daytona is basically, I would say, our crown jewel. So you know what, I'll treat it as a crown jewel. 9 laps remaining in stage number 2, but this 24 looking pretty good up here. I think 6th place might be that 18 of Sideways. I don't know if he's a lap down or if he is on the lead lap. I know the 48's a lap down, but I think that 18 might be battling for that 5th position as well. But that is your top 5. As we'll go back to your leader as the laps are winding down here for stage number 2 here at Richmond. 32 of Stout Whiskey running well up into the lead. He's led most of stage number 2. Not all of it, but most of it right now, as he's currently in the lead. It looks like he's not going to have that many lap cars in front of him. Laps are winding down here for stage number 2. The nearest lap car is probably about a whole turn ahead of him, so you don't really need to push to lap them. It's going to be a battle for the free pass behind them, though. It's like between the 53 and the 47. Word Burden, I think, just passed that mess. Oh, no, he's got to pass the 47, which I think the 47 is currently the free pass. The only way that the bread does not go moldy right now is that 47 gets that free pass. But this 8 of Word Burden, currently P2, running well. How many do we have to go, Word? 5 to go here. He is screaming how hard he's trying to pass him. Like it should be a badge for his Boy Scout troop. But it's 4 to go now. The 32 of Stout Whiskey going into turn number 1. Running pretty good. He's going to hit all of his marks here. Down the back straightaway he goes, coming to 3 to go here in stage number 2. And what a run here by Stout, Kevin. How do you describe his run in stage number 2?
I mean, it's kind of what I expected. I don't know that I expected him to be this dominant. I mean, he has really shown the speed of that car tonight, and I mean, he's done an exceptional job again. Started pretty far back in the field, probably the back third of the field. And he came up through stage 1, did a really good job just being smart, keeping himself out of trouble, but gaining spots. Was up to about 4th or 5th by the end of stage 1. And obviously, very early in stage 2, he took over the lead from the 6 of Asylums, and he hasn't looked back since. He's got a huge lead, put a ton of cars a lap down, and I tell you what, as he gets ready to close out this stage, which, by the way, I would also like to point out, he's been the most consistent driver out of the Cup Series this season. Again, a third place at Daytona, a 2nd place last week, barely, at Chicagoland. He came in here as your points leader, and if trends seem to be on his side for a couple different reasons. First of all, you figure he started off with a 3rd place. He ran last week with a 2nd place. Obviously, he should be able to win this race if you look at the trends, as well as the fact too we're on a point of as well where 2 different winners so far. The other 2 series have had 3 different winners now. He could make himself the 3rd different Cup Series winner, and he's taken the stage. And we'll talk more in a minute, but there's some extra motivation behind these drivers now to not only earn points during these races, the stage points, and that sort of thing, but also to finish well. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. Let's just say we've redone qualifying a little bit. We've taking a bit of a mathematical approach, if you will. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later here into Stage 3, because right now we're about to have our first restart in over 70 laps. Whole Stage 2 went green, Alex. This is going to be fun now.
We will. As just real quick, I did put a link to the Red Hot Racing YouTube chat in the chat. I did put a link to it, so go subscribe to that. That's where all the Red Hot content will be at for all the races. If you missed the Xfinity or truck race, you will see it. Hi, Dark Abyss. I gotta make sure I say hi to Dark Abyss.
Shout out to our viewers.
Yes, out to all our viewers here tonight. We got good races. Green flag here. Stage number 3 in Richmond. 32 is down on that inside, trying to make the inside work. But can the 8 of Word get the run? Through 1 and 2, 6 of Asylums to the inside of Word. That's the battle for P2. Can Word get clear that 6? He was, but he's going to give some room to make sure. And he will. Word the P2. Stout P1. 6 and the 5 battling for P3 behind them. 24 of Toasted in P5 right now, but Stout Whiskey. Can he pull away? 80
How many cars on the lead lap? Do you know, Tim?
Number 3.
9.
9 cars on the lead lap. Here as stage number 3. As we're going to look to see
10 cars.
The angles. All these cars dive into turn number 1. Look at that angle. All the cars diving turn number 1. Look at how all of them dive in. As we're going to go on board with the 4 Crotum here, who's battling in 6th position here. Harvick, who you think's going to win? Stage number 3. Who you got?
I mean, right now, and obviously he hasn't pulled away too much yet. We're still early in this thing. Hopefully these guys were able to make some adjustments to keep up with this 32, but I think I'd almost be crazy right now to say I didn't think the 32 of Stout Whiskey was the favorite. He absolutely dominated the Stage 2, pulled away with a very large gap, held that, actually expanded it through pit stops. I mean, he got through lap traffic almost perfectly. The only mistake he even made throughout that entire stage was he made a little bit of contact with the wall before he came into pit. So, nothing too major. I think Stout's got to be the favorite right now, but he's got some guys behind him that want to win this as well. Again, Word back here in the 8. He's trying to make it 2 in a row. Asylum's back here. He had some handling issues in Stage 2, it seemed. We'll see if he can get those back. A lot going on, man. But I think Stout's got to be the favorite.
So, there might be some fuel saving. Is it a guaranteed 1 stop here, Word? Okay, so we're hearing if you have the gear, it's going to be a 1 stop. If you pit, like Stout did pit on lap 35, you will not make it. So it looks like it could be a 2 stopper for the guys that don't have the gear. The ones who do, it might be a 1 stopper, and they could steal the win here. As back up front, we're on board with the 6 of Asylums right now, P3 right now, as he's currently doing pretty good. I think he adjusted that car from earlier. It was very tight on that run. Right now, very much going to be a good race here for him. Currently P3. He's pulling away from the 24 Toasted, but right now 6, 8, 32, top 3 right now. Of course, reverse order of that, but it's pretty good. As we got a lot of cars, let's go through the drivers that we haven't really talked about much. Again, I want to give everybody equal amount of TV time. Bit Skydiver in the 17, we haven't talked much about him. He's currently one of those cars a lap down now after that run. He's looking pretty good to have a good, decent top 15. Could sneak into that top 10. Remember, 9 cars are on the lead lap here. So so he could be sneaking his way into that 10th position. We do not know. Right now, 5's around. We got trouble. Another car around in front of him. A stack up. No caution yet. 2 cars around. 1 car in the caution's
out, and that changes the fuel game quite a bit. Fuel mileage might be out the window at this point, which is good for the 32 of Stout Whiskey. We will see if that's the case, but again, they were about 8 laps short, I think. If my math ended up being correct, about 8 laps short of being able to make this on 1 stop with no problems. We probably ran 6 there at least, maybe more. So fuel mileage, I think, will be out the window after this, and also these guys will have another chance to get to Stout Whiskey's bumper.
Also, what car gets the free pass?
Ooh, that is a good question. We had 10 cars on the lead lap there. Should be 11 after this caution.
Word. Hello. Word.
Alex.
Hello. Ward. I get no answer.
Sorry guys, I'm
He's multitasking like it isn't even like he was multitasking
Very busy man.
last week. Very busy man. Green flag back in the air here. Stout Whiskey on that inside. 5 car has an EOL. Okay, what is his penalty? Is it rear of the field?
End of line. End of line. Yeah, he's gonna have to drop to the rear. Not gonna be a fun penalty to take for Drew.
Can we just call it a black flag? Not an EOL? Are we really like gonna give it a temporary name here? Is the 32s up front? Okay.
It is. Yeah, it is.
I'm calling it a black flag. To be
Either way,
the
point of it, the 5 of Drew, who's been inside the top 5 this whole race, got in trouble. I didn't quite see what happened. I just saw him go around, and I saw a couple other cars get collected. But now he is one of your lead lap cars. He's going to have to go all the way to the back of this field. I tell you what, that's not a fun penalty to get. He's going to have to work his way through the 9 or 10 lap cars that are not on the lead lap here. And he's going to have to try to get back up inside this top 10 to fight his way closer to the front.
I don't know if he served his penalty yet. He's currently still...
Yes,
he did, apparently. I don't know how he went from the back of the field to about 6th place that quick. But he's served his penalty. Looks like he's battling with the 84 of Floyd here. It's the 84 is going to give him a bump. I think the 84 of Floyd is still on the lead lap here. There might be a couple lap down cars currently, like the 53. He could have gotten that free pass. I don't know. I was asking for the free pass, and I get told somebody's multitasking. So I guess multitasking got the free pass on that last caution. Oh, you guys can hear word? Okay, well, that's great. So 32 up front. Word Burton's kind of hunting him down here. I think this is the closest we've seen to anybody being close to this 32. He looks like he's got that car dialed up here, Harvick. He's going to go to the inside of the 32. Side by side for the lead. Can this 8 car, can he clear? No, he cannot. 32 is going to get that run out the corner. 8 car on that inside. He's going to hold it on that inside. 8 car trying to get the bite on the bottom. 32 on the outside. Can he get the run? Wow, it looks like that outside, he's not getting a big enough run on that outside. It's either the 8's getting a big bite on the bottom. Here we go, a little contact, and a new leader here, Richmond. 8 of Ward Burton to the lead.
That's the first lead change we've had since early stage 2, so Ward seems to have found something in this car. I don't know what it is, if he found a line, if he found some speed somewhere, or if Stout just slipped up a little, but I tell you what, he better run, because if that 32 still has the same speed, this battle is not over yet. But for right now, he is out front, heading this train that is the inside line. And I tell you what, he's got a strong car. He's trying to go 2 in a row here. And you see Stout, though, has not lost sight. In fact, he is still right here knocking on the door. Word has to be feeling that pressure. He knows the speed of the 32. He knows how good he is at this place. Ward is also very good here, but that's gotta be in the back of your mind, Alex.
Yep, as I think the 32 is getting flashbacks from last week. Definitely some flashbacks after that side-by-side battle for the win between him and Word. Just ended up, Word got the better end of the deal there, but the 32 is coming back though. He's back to the rear bumper of the 8. Maybe the 32's got to just wait a little bit for his car to kick in. Maybe his car wasn't dialed in first, but now maybe it's dialed in. But this 8 of Word, I would be looking in the mirror almost every lap, because that 32 could be coming at any moment right now. So is the 6.
Yeah, Alex, I promise.
Watch out for the 6 of Asylums. That is, we've been talking about him. He's been running good. We know how good he is. right now, but the 6 of Asylums, watch out for him. He could steal it if the 32 and the 8 get way too aggressive.
I'll tell you what, though, the top two have kind of distanced themselves, or at least they had, from the guys behind. Okay, I do see Asylums right there. So, yeah, I mean, but they have distanced themselves quite a bit from the guys behind. So I think we can clearly right now see who the best cars are and who, at the moment, looks like they'll be fighting it out for a victory at the end of the 80-lap stage. Now, a little bit less than that, obviously. But I think you see your best cars right now.
Yeah, I think you see your very best cars. Top three's kind of gapped themselves to the 4th place of Toasted. But right now, let's go look through the rest of the field here. Here's the 47 of Rye Bread. He got a free pass a couple of cautions ago. The bread has not gone moldy, folks. The bread has not gone moldy. He is currently in the top 10 and running very well right now. He could be in that 11th spot as well, but the bread has not gone moldy right now. Is the 00 T-Glass, also another car. He made a big mistake on pit road earlier in the race. He's going to make sure he does not make that same mistake again. Also got the 84 of Floyd MB, currently in that 6th position right now, running very good in that 84. Looks like we got a battle up ahead here for 4th place as Drew LMAO is going to go take that 4th position here from Toasted. As Toasted is going to go to P5. P4 is going to go to the 5 of Drew LMAO. Back at the front, it's a 3-car. 3 cars under a blanket here, Richmond. The 8, the 32, and the 6. It looks like they're going to be maybe catching lap. They're not going to catch lap traffic right now. Lap traffic is probably going to happen around the green flag stop area right now. But right now they are running pretty good. Training the bottom. Oh, 32 is going to get a little loose there off turn number 2.
Interesting.
Harvick,
Interesting.
what's the plan right now? We all know your pit. We all know you like that short pit. But you did see Word on that long run. He was catching him on those fresh tires for about those couple laps, and it seemed like it evened out a little bit. Are you still on that short pit, or are you going to hop on that long haul a little bit right now?
Well, obviously, and this is me personally, I've always been a fan of the short pit. Usually it works out 9 times out of 10. There's a couple exceptions to that, especially for a couple of racetracks throughout the game. But in general, the short pit usually does gain you the most time. You can try the long haul, but it usually does end up falling short and costing you a little bit. It doesn't cost you as much here as it would at some larger tracks because the laps are shorter as far as distance and time and that sort of thing. But in general, the short pit is usually the way to go. You can gain a lot of time on fresh tires here. I don't exactly know what the fall off is on old tires compared to fresh tires. I would guess it's probably about a second to a second and a half. And oh boy, looky.
Oh, we got a big battle here for seconds. Casey just took the second place here at Asylums, and then Stout Whiskey crossed them back over. As Word, how many do we have left to go? How many laps?
Great question.
41 laps remaining. They will have to make one stop.
5 laps away, actually, from the pit window opening, Alex.
Yeah, but this is what Word wanted to see. The 32 and the 6 battling hard, and that's what happened. 32 and the 6, as we're getting word, it actually happened right now. We got the word from Word that the pit window is actually open. It's mathematically open right now. We do not know, but it is currently about less than 40 to go now, I think. But the 6 of Asylums and the 32 battled so hard. Look at the gap between Word and Whiskey here. Harvick, is short pitting going to be enough here for this 32 to make up that gap right there?
Well, we probably gained maybe 3 to 6 tenths. I don't know exactly. We don't have that information because it wasn't given to us in the game. But he gained a little bit when he short pitted earlier. He seems to like that strategy. I expect him to probably do the same thing again here. Obviously, maybe not early enough to where he's stretching the tire life at the end of this thing, but I definitely expect him to be on pit road fairly soon here. He does have a little bit more leeway to go in the fuel tank and that kind of thing, though, because of the fact we had that caution about 8 or 10 laps into the stage. That kind of opens the pit window a little bit wider for these guys. It'll be interesting to see when pit road does start to get busy, but if you're trying to chase down the leader of Word right now, you're definitely looking to pit early. But if you're Word too, you have to be thinking about that and thinking, you know, I saw what happened in stage 2 when I extended my run out. I lost a little bit of time, not a ton, but I lost a little bit. I'm in the lead now. I don't want to risk losing that time. I think shortcutting has to be running through his mind as well to kind of counter the fact that those guys are probably looking at doing that kind of strategy. So if you're the leader, you got to try to kind of beat the other guys that are chasing you at their own game so that you don't lose. We'll have to see what happens, though. This is a very wide door for strategy.
Yes, we got some cars pitting. I think I just saw the 00 and the 13 coming down. The 34 is also coming down. The 2 car is in as well as the 53. So a lot of pit stops are happening. I think a lot of them are either the top 10 or a couple of lap down cars coming in right now. But who's going to be that first one out of this top 3 to pit? 32, you got the 8 and you got the 6. I want to watch out for that 5 as well. Jerome LMAO. Started in the back of the field because of a EOL or a black flag, but he's currently marching his way. He's up the P4. I would watch out for that 5 right now. He's looking pretty fast. This 8 car though, it's just a matter of time when these top 3, who's going to be the first one to pit here, and who do you going to guess is going to be the first one to pit here, Eric?
I would think Stout. I don't know, because the one thing I've noticed, and I don't know if maybe Word's car's just gotten better. Or what the case may be. But if you look at Stout's car, we saw him get loose a little bit earlier. It almost seems like the handling, at least in some capacity, has maybe slipped away just a little on that 32 car. And he might want to try to get in early A to maybe counter any handling issues that may have developed. And that does happen over the course of these races. But also to get some fresh rubber on that thing and try to get some of the ground back that he's trying to gather on the racetrack, try to use some pit strategy and that type of thing to get that as well. Asylums, I think, will be close behind, if not dead even. I wouldn't be surprised either, actually,
here we
if
go.
Comes. Here we go.
Here we go. 32 in. 32, the first one to pit.
And now you're with Word and Asylums.
Word a little bit. I think it was catching Word a little bit at the end of that run. Not very much, but just by a little bit. Could help him here in this pit road. Now the question is, when will the 6 pit, as well as the 8? These are the top 3 that we are looking at right now. 8's coming around, lapping the 32 of Stout. The question is, like I said, when will Asylums pit and when will Word pit? Word's coming down. Word's coming down.
Because I expect Asylums to follow. Let's see if he does.
Asylums staying out one more time.
So Asylum's going to take over the lead for the first time since early stage 2. Again, this is through pit cycles. We'll see what he's thinking. He's one that sometimes kind of goes back and forth on this, but he is definitely one that has been known before as well to pull the long haul strategy. We'll see what he does here. Obviously we know what he's doing. We'll see how much longer exactly he decides to stay on the racetrack. And now the other thing we got to keep watching is the 32 of Stout's out of pit road. The 8's currently in. How does this cycle for those guys? Who gains time? Who loses time out of all this? Between those 2 cars.
Yeah, I'm currently on board with Word in his pit box to see the over-under. Who got the better pit stop? Who got the better entry? Who got the better exit? Here comes Word. Here comes Stout. Stout goes high. He messes up his corner. And Word's going to get in front of him, I think. But Stout, here he comes. He's on the outside. No, Word's going to beat him.
And now Word has the tire advantage.
Oh, but here comes Stout because Word is not up to speed yet. Stout to the inside. Oh, Word's going to go off the racetrack here. Side by side. This could be the battle for the lead once Asylum's pit. Side by side. Oh, the 1 car gets loose entering pit road and clear 32 a Stout to the lead. Or to the possible lead.
Second place, I believe, at the moment.
Yes, the 6 of Asylums has not pitted yet.
Asylums is still out. Gavin is.
Oh!
Gavin and the 6 have not pitted yet. So the 6 of Asylums and the 38 of Gavin have not pitted yet. They look like
48 in the wall.
they are they are the
Car in
cars
the
that are
wall?
staying out the longest. You got a couple cars in the wall. We heard the 48 and the 32. 18's coming off pit road after his stop. I think Asylums. Yep, Asylums is coming down this time.
That will lead to 38, I believe,
Asylums is
as your
coming
leader.
down. I don't know.
32 is going to be your leader.
32 is going to be the leader.
All right.
That's if Gavin's pitting.
That's if Gavin's pitting here. We're going to go looking behind here to the 6. As Gavin, I think, didn't pit. Let's go
Either way, Stout back out front. And I don't know
it's worse.
Oh.
Word and Stout side by side.
I don't think this
Word's
battle
clear.
will end very soon. I'll put it that way. I see this going on for a
Gavin's
while.
also on pit road. Yeah, Gavin's also on pit road. So, where's the over/under between Asylums and the 6? And not the 6, the 8 and
It's starting
the
to come
32.
Here
Okay,
comes
there's
Asylums
Word.
out of the pits.
Oh, he hasn't even passed the commitment cone, and they're exiting like turn 2. Yeah, that's
6
gonna
lap
be.
pressure tires, don't forget that.
But also 6-lap pressure tires, but that's a lot of ground to make up. As you know, Word's got those 2-lap pressure tires over Stout, and Stout currently P2 behind the 8 of Word.
4
That is
seconds is the gap.
that is
4
just,
seconds the gap to Asylums back there, so that's what he's going to have to make up. That's a tall order here at Richmond, but it's not impossible. He's got the fresher tires. He's actually got even a little bit more of a tire advantage over Stout than he does over Word. So we'll have to see just how much the tires will come into play. That's going to be a really big question mark here. We've seen them.
Stout!
Oh boy.
Oh, Stout's in the wall.
Huge mistake. That's going to hurt.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. The problem is, and this is why I said about Asylums, even though he has fresh tires, he's got a bunch of lap traffic when he came out. So that's also not gonna help Asylums. He's also battling with the 5, but they cleared that lap traffic now, it looks like. And now the 6 is all by himself. So the question is, can he run down Stout? And can he? He's already cut off a second, we're getting word, so he is hauling right now. He's currently trying to get there. So how many do we have to go when we cross the line this time?
Across the line, it'll be 17.
17 remaining. I've always, there's always been something I was always told. It's easy to get to somebody, but it's hard to pass them. And you know what? If Casey wants to get to Word, he's going to have to pass not just him, but the 32 right there. And I think that 32 might want to hold on a second here. But that 6 is hauling right now. 16 to go here. So, Kevin, do you think Casey can catch Word in the enough amount of laps here?
It's going to be a tall order. 15 laps is a pretty good ways to go around here, but they do take off quickly. The tires also will probably start to level off a little bit as far as the advantage, so we'll see how that works. I think what he's probably going to need is the 8 to get caught up in some lap traffic maybe, and he's also going to need to get around this 32 and any lap traffic that he might catch very quickly. He does not need to be caught up in traffic if he wants to close this gap.
Yeah, we are hearing the one car is just DNF'd out of the race. So the one car is DNF'd. I think the 2 is also DNF'd the captain. So 4 DNFs so far tonight. It looks like not pretty good right now. As you can see, the 1, the 88. We can go around here with the 2 and the 51. So sadly, DNFs tonight. Their nights are done. But Casey, or Asylums, he has closed this gap on the 32 and the 8, but
2.2 seconds.
0.2 seconds now.
1.2.
It was 4 seconds when he came out. But it's going to be a tall task to make it all up. Right now, the interesting thing would happen if a caution comes out. That would make things interesting right now. If
That would
the
shake
caution
things
comes
up.
out.
Definitely, but
Definitely shake things up.
I tell you what, though, Alex, we're closing in. Actually, we should be within 10 to go now, or very close to it. Wow. Okay, so yeah, 11 laps to go, coming around to 10. Asylum's his time's running out. He's definitely closed the gap down, but he's still gonna have to get around the 32 of Stout Whiskey, who has a very good car, and then he's got to go finish closing that gap to Word. With the time running out, I tell you what, he's gonna need either a mistake out of these guys, which Word is getting caught up with the 34 of Josh, so that might be what Asylum needs to help him.
He needs to help lap traffic and just park it in front of the 8 car. That's what he's hoping. It's either that or since he is a hot dog, we all know mustard and ketchup. If he has a Heinz 57
Look
bottle,
at the lap traffic up here, Alex.
Oh yeah, the lap traffic is serious. Like, I mean, there's 17, you got the 13 and the 53. As the 13 just hit the wall, 53's getting loose.
Oh, more contacts from the 53. Down in the wall. Caution! No, it's not. Never mind.
No.
I heard Stout slow down and I thought it was caution.
Okay, well, like I said, I think that 6 of Asylum's, 17 hits the wall, trying to let Word by, and then the 13 is Super. I don't know if Super's going to battle. I think he's going to let Word by as Word hits the apron right there. Another way that that 6 car can get a boost, if he has ketchup, a Heinz 57 bottle. I heard if you hit the 57 just right on a Heinz ketchup, you get that thrust and extra power. You might be getting a little bit more horsepower. I don't know if he has that as fast in his car. I think he has hot dogs in his car as well.
Back to the 6,
so
1.7 seconds, 6.
Got 6 laps remaining here.
What was the
I
gap?
think that's what Casey needs a little bit.
1.6.
Oh, almost down to half a
1.2.
second, Alex. And with all the lap traffic that's around these guys, it's isn't over yet, but he's going to have to get going.
Yeah, I think it's too little too late. 5 laps remaining. I just think it's too little too late for that 6. I think if he had the chance, I think he should have pitted with either Stout or Word, or maybe a couple laps after Word. But here we go, through 3 and 4. 4 laps remaining here. It looks like we're going to have this 8 go back to back here if we do not get a caution. Here, this 8 of Word has basically sit around the top 3 for most of the race. Started up in 2nd place. He's had a very good race tonight. Harvick, what is your complexion on this race so far as we're 3 to go?
I think it's been a really good race. We've had a lot going on, and as far as the 8 of Word right now, we just hit 3 to go. There's only about 2 lap cars in the distance, and they're pretty far out. I don't even think he will catch them. He's got pretty much clear sailing. All he's got to do now is just keep this car under him, don't make any mistakes, and be smooth for the next 2 laps here. And he will have a 2nd win in a row, and will break the trend that's been going throughout the league, which is 3 different winners in 3 races. He's trying to make it 2 and 2, or 2 and 3 for the Cup Series. 2 in a row for him. And unless he makes a mistake, he should be good.
Here we go. Out of turn number 4. White flag. One more time around here at Richmond. What a run for the 8 of Ward. Last week, he unexpectedly got into a tie with Stout. And now he's all alone, all by himself. Out of turn number 4. Wardburton's going to win at Richmond. 2nd win of the season, back to back. Stout's going to get 2nd, and Asylum is going to get 3rd. As I think a big pileup is we got a wreck on the last lap between Toasted Gamers and a couple of cars as he is wrecking. Toasted Gamers with a big wreck there at the end, but Wardburton's going to win back to back here in the Cup Series for Red Hot.
Indeed, and taking his 3rd overall win throughout the league, 2nd Cup win. Of course, he won all the way back in Daytona for the Xfinity Series, kicking off that season down there. He's done a really good job. We'll have to see, too. I don't know what the point situation is going to be like. Again, Word has 2 wins. Stout, though, with a 3rd, a 2nd, and a 2nd place. Again, I think too, and we'll ask him about it, but I gotta think, if you're Stout, you've been so close to these victories now. 3rd place, had a shot at Daytona. Literally, again, he tied last week at Chicago with Word, and now again, dominated stage 2 and the early portion of stage 3. Word was able to get back around him, and then Word never really looked back. Stout had a couple other shots at him through pit stops. They battled for a few laps, but eventually Word and the 8 team got the best of him, and yeah, ended up coming home second. It seemed like the handling really fell away on that 32 during that stage. We'll talk to him about it, though. We'll get your top 3 drivers in here and get a word from all of them.
Yeah, we're going to get a word from all of them as we're going to get your top 3 in here as soon as we can.
I'm working on it now.
We're working on it.
We have one of them right now, so we just got to get Stout.
There we go.
Where's Mr. Whiskey?
There we go. We got your top 3 in here after a great race tonight here in Richmond. What a great race. Word comes home with the victory, second victory of the season here, as we're going to be sitting here with third place. Third place, Asylums. Asylums, you got a copy, you got your iron.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
What is up? The 6 car, you ran good in stage number 1. You won stage 1. You had a very fast car. It looked like your car was getting very tight there in stage number 2. Did that have any effect? Because you did fall back a little bit there in stage 2. Did that give you any effect on the win here?
No. My car was about the same speed the whole race. I knew those two were going to get faster. So I was just hoping to come, around third place. So I'm happy with what I had. Felt about the same the whole race.
Yeah, we were hearing that you did stay out for the long haul. Well, did you think the long haul was going to give you the chance for the win, or at least a chance for second?
It definitely helped me cut off a decent amount of time on everybody. I probably lost a little bit too much time while they had fresher tires and I was still out on track, but I'm happy with what I cut off about 3 seconds, so I'm happy with the result there.
Yeah, we know that you were trying to get up there fast. How do you think, and what was your final thoughts on your finish here in that Glizzy number 6?
Oh, well, I'm happy. Won a stage, gained some much needed points, We had a good week last week, we had a terrible week. We won a stage at Daytona, but other than that, we had a terrible week there. We really needed good points all around the day, and we were able to do that.
Well, that is your third place driver, Asylums. Next time, Asylums, I know you have hot dogs in that car, I think. I was told you might have hot dogs. Do you have hot dogs?
Yes, I do.
Just to make sure.
Yes, I do.
Do you have any ketchup or mustard?
It's on the side of the car. Yes.
Okay. What kind of ketchup, though?
What kind of ketchup do you want?
Well, I heard if you hit a 57 on a Heinz bottle, it gives a good thrust to ketchup. Maybe gives you more speed next time. You may want to try that.
We'll see. Next week's road course, so we'll see what happens. we might be flipping somewhere, so I don't know. Off of one of the sand pits.
Yeah, there's your third place finisher, Asylums. Harvick is with your second place finisher, Stout Whiskey.
Indeed. Asylums, congrats on a third place. We have our second place driver here, Stout Whiskey. You had a very interesting race. Stout, you got a copy, sir.
What's up, big dog?
Not much. I'm doing pretty good. I don't know how you feel, because obviously, let's start off at stage 1. You start in the back third of the field, about 15th position. You work your way up slowly through the stage. You end up inside the top 5 by stage end. Early stage 2, you jump up, you take the lead fairly early, and you don't ever really look back. And then stage 3 comes around, and I don't know, and I guess we'll get this from you, but it's almost seemed like, I don't know if the handling fell away on your car a little bit, or if the 8 just was able to kind of catch up to you a little bit there. And you come home with a second place finish again. Walk us through your race, man.
No, you just said it. I started back in 17th position. I think I was supposed to start 15th. I just fell in line and was able to drive it up to the front there, and I gave T Glass a textbook bump and run. I was able to pass him for second to Casey. second stage, and just followed behind Asylums there, and was finally able to pass him, and just drove away and was able to win the second stage. Then the third one, I don't know if I got NASCAR heated or what, man, but it was weird because my car, I didn't have this in the first two stages, but it like chattered the whole time in the corners. And I think Ward would tell you he'd see me, I'd just shoot up the track, and I didn't have that issue in the first two stages. And then, personally, I thought Ward was better than I was anyway there in that third stage. He was able to roll the corners a little bit better. Same thing for Asylums. I thought Asylums was better than I was as well. So, and then, right there, I guess it was about 10 laps before we pitted. Asylums got into me, and I crowded him, and he got into me, and I got right side damage. It wasn't his fault. It was just hard racing. That was kind of the nail in the coffin there. And I just tried to pit early, forced him to pit early, and it's right back to chattering. And it is what it is. Unfortunately, I think I gained points on everybody again with a second first and a second, except for maybe Tim and Asylums. We probably got around the same amount of points. But in today's world, in today's NASCAR, you got to win races. So I've got to figure out how to close the deal and figure out what was going on with the chattering. If this was old school Winston Cup points, what I grew up watching, I'd be sitting pretty right now. But you gotta find a way to win these races because that's what matters. With the playoff stuff, and we'll be back next week at the road course and see what'll happen. We finished, I think it was third, second right now, and that's not too shabby.
Indeed, and you talk about that too. Obviously, I know you haven't gotten that win. You sort of won last week, and you crossed the line at the exact same time Ward did. But obviously, a third at Daytona, really good result, and then 2 second place finishes. You're knocking on the door to that win. You were right there tonight. I honestly, at the start of stage 3, I thought it was yours. You would kind of run away with it during stage 2, and I thought at that point you were the favorite. I knew I had you favorited coming in here. This is one of your best tracks. You've always been strong on these short tracks, but so close. 2 second place finishes in a row. You were leading the points coming here. I think you will probably expand that. But what do you feel like? I guess you needed to maybe get what you needed for the win tonight, and then also what do you feel like you need to do to try to get a win this season, being so close already so many times.
Well, obviously, I probably need to work on my setups a little bit more. I kind of just like with this one, I've had this one, man. Didn't practice, just loaded it up, went at it, and here we are. I probably need to work on my craft a little bit. I think we're all waiting for the new game to come out, and it's I don't know when it's going to get here. Hopefully, it's sooner than later. As far as winning races, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm putting myself in a position. I'm running up front. I'm pretty good about doing that wherever I race, and it just seems wherever we go, one person or two people's better than me, and that's part of life. So congrats to Ward. Congrats to Casey. Casey could have killed me there at the end, but he raced me clean. He was faster than I was, and I'm happy. It's like I said, I love to sit behind the steering wheel. I'm a teacher by day, and when I'm behind the steering wheel, it's a time to escape, and I'm in good company. Ward's no slouch, Asylum's no slouch, and if I'm up here battling these guys, and the guys I battle in the other leagues I race in, I'm in the conversation.
Indeed, you definitely are. And before I let you go, any shout outs, thank yous on another second place finish here tonight?
I guess I gotta give a shout out to Casey and Ward for waiting for me. I don't know if that was the case, but I started back up with the East Park stuff, and I literally joined the room, and the timer was like at 14 seconds. I don't know if Ward was counting down to 5 or what, but I was able to get in. So thank those guys. Thank you and Air Just Calls for calling our races. Harvick fan, you hear me wherever I race, man. I always appreciate the broadcasters because they sacrifice time they could be doing something else. I mean, you guys could be playing video games or doing homework or watching TV, but you sacrifice an hour and a half of your time to call our races, and I'm always appreciative of that. So other than that, thanks to everybody that races me. I get raced clean a lot, and people refer to me as the people's champ. I don't feel I'm special or anything, and I just love to race. So just thanks to everybody that races me the way that I race them.
Indeed. Well, I'd say you did a pretty good job tonight. Had a very fast race car. Obviously, I can say, yeah, the game does do a random thing sometimes where, this, for whatever reason, the car feels different at a certain point in the race when you didn't even touch it. So, unfortunate you got caught out by that, but you had a very fast race car tonight. I think everyone saw that, and congrats on a second place finish. I have a feeling you're very close to getting that win.
Hey, appreciate it, Harvick.
Sure. Thank you. Alex, you have our race winner for the second week in a row, Mr. Ward Burton.
Okay, I am here with Word Burton. Word, I'm not, are you there, man? You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I am. Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. What a run tonight, man. You started second, you were top 3, top 5 most of the race long, and then you come home with the W. Give me your thoughts throughout the race, what you did throughout the race to get yourself your W, second win of the season.
Yeah, I just knew, Alex, we needed a long run. This is what this setup was, all set up around, and, really having a full stage or, stage 3 to really kind of let the car go. And, Stout kind of mentioned a few moments ago, this track is tough in terms of inconsistency. Stage 1 and 2, similar to Stout, I was battling with issues with the vibrations. Especially in turn number 3, and then sometimes it kind of settles itself out as the run goes on. Sometimes it doesn't. But in terms of the race, it was about getting track position. Sometimes I fell back a little bit there. I was battling for third at the end of stage 1, and you really start to realize as the run goes on, it's not about the car itself. We weren't missing anything on the setup early on. It's just how I drove it. We were too, I guess you could say, too relaxed in terms of how I was approaching the corners. I wasn't as aggressive enough, and I really felt like we hit our peak towards the end of stage 2, or really, I shouldn't say towards the end of stage 2, but right there to the start of stage 3. We got Stout sliding a little bit, started to see where we were lacking a little bit, and we were able to stay, right there, tucked up on the bumper. It wasn't easy at all, and I truthfully think, if I'm being honest, I didn't have the best car tonight. I still felt like Stat had the better car, but we were able to get it done. We got lucky. We almost watched it end. I give Slide Job a lot of credit. He could have turned right head on in front of us when he was getting wrecked there with a couple lappers at the end, but he was able to hold it down to the bottom, so I'm really appreciative of that. But second win, again, I'll take it. I have no expectations going in Mid-Ohio. This was one of the tracks we circled that I knew we needed to get a good result. And with the new format coming next week in terms of the starting lineup, I hope this gets us a pole. But I'll definitely take this start right now.
Yeah, good run tonight. You were having talking about the win. Did it feel better to know that you won this straight up and it wasn't a side by side battle? Almost basically a tie like it was last week.
Yeah, it feels a lot better because I still feel, hey, I didn't truly win the race last week when it comes down. And Stout kind of mentioned it, I think, on the broadcast last week when he was having his interview. It's like sometimes you wish it came down to .001 so that you feel a little bit more better about it. But, at the end of the day, I feel, again, it's good to get the win legitimately this week. But again, the beauty here in the Cup Series, and this is just speaking in general, is the fact that anyone can win on any given week. Sure, I've won 2 races in a row, but we're gonna probably see a new winner next week. It's the beauty of Mid-Ohio and different styles of road courses, and then moving on throughout the rest of the schedule. These just happen to be 2 tracks that played to my strong suit, but there's gonna be a couple more tracks like that. Moving forward. But, yeah, it does feel good to actually get it done legitimately, Alex. And again, I got to give Stout and Casey a lot of credit. I really thought Casey was going to beat me there at the end because he knocked out about a second or so, around 20 laps to go. And I just got really fortunate, lucky, right time, right place. And as Stout mentions, we race each other relatively clean. We don't, cause trouble. We give and go throughout the race, and that's all I can ask for as a driver is a mutual respect, and that's what we had tonight, and that's, a big reason why all 3 of us had good results.
And any shout out you want to do before we end it?
Yes, Alex, I do want to thank you guys, of course, being in the booth again every single week. You guys have been spot on here on Sunday nights, especially you, Kevin, coming back from Richmond, taking my spot away in the booth, and perhaps me giving you that tie back, as you could say. You know, you were definitely missed in that past week, and while it's fun to call a race while racing, it was a lot more relaxed for me today. Just getting to tell you guys how many laps there were to go. But again, I appreciate you guys what you guys do, and Kevin, you doing all 3 races every weekend. I do want to thank Gavin as well. I forgot that last week for what he does with Xfinity and trucks, and want to thank all 11 admins. And I'm not going to go through them all, but every single one of them, especially Casey's, put in so much hard work, week in, week out, and the progression. That's the big thing. Season 1, I wasn't expecting perfection, but the fact that we've seen progression in each series week in and week out really makes me feel we're starting to build towards something special here. Today could have been disaster. Short track, not an easy track to drive at all. And I think we only had 2-3 yellows the entire race. So, everyone did a really good job tonight. And I'm real proud of that overall. And again, want to thank Rock for everything he does for this community. We wouldn't have found guys like Foyd here tonight that get a good result without his help. And, he's a big aspect of this community moving forward with everything else. But other than that, again, it's all put on the drivers here tonight. Everyone that showed up here in the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series, they want to show their talents and they want to prove that they can learn custom setups while also being strong. And I think we're starting to really get to see that after the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that's going to be from your winner, Ward Burden. Ward Burden. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out there. I want to see a Ward Burden throwback if we're doing Darlington this season. I would love to see a Ward Burden throwback from Word. But,
that could be a possibility.
Could be a possibility. Is Darlington on the schedule?
No, but I do have another idea.
Y'all
We'll
flopped on
that
schedule.
later.
Not. Y'all flopped on schedle. Darlington.
No, I have a better idea. We'll talk about that.
So,
it's gonna happen.
Harvick, give us, before we wrap up the stream, your thoughts on the race.
I think it was a great race. I think just like Ward said, really, first of all, throughout the entire league, we have seen progression throughout every series. And, there was a lot of competition in this Cup race tonight, especially, mid part of the top 5. And I saw guys that I didn't necessarily expect to be up there. And the main standout in that category to me was the 84 Floyd, and I mean that in the best way. The dude's fairly new to me. Somebody said in the chat earlier he actually wasn't new to custom setups, so my apologies. But he's fairly new to me, and he's new to the series, fairly new anyways. And he did an amazing job out there tonight. And of course, your top 3, they put on a show, especially early in this race. And we had comers and goers, and racing real life or virtual. That's always fun to see, is when you have comers and goers throughout a race. All those things. We had, I think, 4 cautions in total. We had some early in Stage 1. Stage 2 went all green, and then Stage 3 we had the 1 caution there. So, shout out to everyone, all the drivers, and also shout out to the viewers in the chat as well. I think I saw, of course, our good friend Darker Best and Frydog, both those guys out there being active in the chat. Of course, the GOAT of the community himself, Rock NASCAR, is out there. I saw All-Star NASCAR out there, Gavin and Seventh Monkey chiming in throughout as well. So all those guys, shout out to the viewers. Again, I can't stress enough from my point of view, and I know everyone throughout the league, whether it be an admin, driver, or commentator, they all feel the same way. It's awesome to see support out there. It's nice to see that people want to come watch this stuff, and it is great racing. And speaking of which, I expect more of that next weekend. We get to head to our 4th different type of track. The one good thing I like about the schedule so far, it has a very good variety. The first 4 races, 4 completely different racetracks. We started off at Daytona. We headed to Chicago. Short track at Richmond under the lights tonight. Next week, we might be at the most unique track yet. We are headed to Mid-Ohio, the first road course of the season. Man, Alex, and you know this better than anybody, that's one of your strong suits. That place is it's a crazy track. You got a lot of elevation change there. You got some hard braking and passing zones. You got a very long straightaway. You got the old beach down there off of turn 4 that sometimes when you don't brake, you end up going flying through the air. But that's hopefully we don't see that next weekend. But and we might see some new guys up there too. Road courses kind of present a new challenge to guys, and you get some new guys that really excel at that, and you get some others that it's not their strong suit and they kind of struggle. So look to see some new faces up there next week as well that maybe you don't see on a weekly basis, and they'll showcase their talents as well as some of our regulars. So I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, again, Friday and Saturday night, you can find the races on twitch.tv/Gavin Hudspeth, as me and Gavin will be calling those as usual. And then, of course, next Sunday, me and Alex will be right back up here calling the action from the road course. So I can't wait for that, Alex. How about you?
I can't wait because I have to go to 2 road courses, and 2 of them are completely different because I have to race Truck and Xfinity. So I gotta go to Canadian Tire and Mid Ohio. So Mid Ohio has kind of a special place in my heart as a racetrack coming from Ohio. So it's got a very special place in my heart. So, but I think that's where we're gonna end it. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Thanks everybody for watching. That's on the YouTubes because I know it's going on YouTube. We'll see you guys Sunday for the Mid Ohio race 4 for the Red Hot Racing League. I'm just cause that was KR fan. We'll see you Sunday.